My name is Cheyenne Kelly. I'm doing my interview reflection video. The person I interviewed, unfortunately, I cannot give her actual name, so for safety reasons, I had to change it. So we're going to refer to her as Shannon. She is a unit counselor for adults and children. She has a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. She's been in the work field for mental health for about 2 years, but her current workplace, she's been there for about 6 months. For her job duties, when I asked her, that she has quite a bit, but she said that the two main ones are documentation and de-escalation. So the documentation, that's just recording everything that she does with the client, whether that's having a one-on-one talking to them or figuring out what's wrong, or even just doing different group activities or group counseling sessions with them. The de-escalation, she usually has to figure out what's wrong with a person and removing other people from the situation to keep them safe. She also said that making DCF reports is also an as-needed thing. And when it comes to children, that's understandable that if they start opening up to you, you're a mandated reporter in that field. And so you'll have to make those reports sometimes. When I asked her to describe what she found challenging within that field, she said the main ones would be the difficulties to work a treatment into a facility when the parents absolutely refuse the offers for the treatment. They believe that their child is fine, that there's nothing wrong with them, and that they don't need the treatment. And so their facility can't do anything unless they have the parents' permission, at least for the children. And the other one is verbally de-escalating kids and adults that are in an explosive state, because it's difficult to remember each step in order in what to do, how to do it, and making sure that you are within your code of ethics and making sure that you're not breaking any laws in the process. She said that when people find things that can be turned into weapons to harm themselves or to harm other people, that's when it gets really difficult, because at that point they can't do a whole lot. They can try doing physical restraints if needed, but otherwise it would require the police to come in and take care of them because they don't have the full training for that. So when I asked her what she does to continue professional growth within her field, she mentioned that she signed up for an online thing where she gets daily articles. It's with the American Mental Health Counseling Association, and they will send webinars, they'll send online classes, they'll send articles, so that way she's keeping up to date with any new findings or new treatments that maybe her workplace hasn't put into place yet, and it's something that she can try that's new with her own clients. And she also said that she had to learn a lot more about inpatient care, because when she was in college, she didn't have as much training in that. It was mostly outpatient care that she was trained on. And so it made it a little harder for her to learn how to do that. But she did that through the webinars and the articles and consulting with like her managers or superiors, so that way she can go and be guided in the right direction. Her recommendations to me when I asked what she would suggest for a student pursuing the field, she took a long time to answer this one because it had to put her into a different mental state. Whether it's family members asking her that question or her coworkers asking her that question, she probably would have had something funny, which is what she said. But when it's a student, she wants to be able to encourage us students to be able to go into the field confidently. And when she finally answered, she said you're never going to feel like a good counselor. You're going to be your own worst critic. And you're always going to think of what you could have done better, what you should have done, and how you could have changed it. But it's a sign that you want to do what's best. You want to make sure that you're doing your best. It does not make you a bad counselor. That makes you a normal counselor, is what she told me. I asked her what she does to practice self-care. That was something I was very concerned about with the field that she's in, because there's a lot of days where it might be a high-stress day, and I wanted to know what she does to make sure that she can de-escalate herself so she can continue in her own field and get in the right mindset, so that way it's not pouring into her work the rest of the day. And she listed some things off. She said that she takes time to decompress. Sometimes she'll have lunch with somebody, or she'll read a book. She will basically always find something that she enjoys and helps get her back into the groove of things and making sure that she's in the right mindset before she goes back to work. She even said that sometimes she'll do this during her lunch breaks. She'll try and reading a book during her lunch break, just that way it's something to reset her mind. And I asked her too if it's beneficial to her, or just beneficial to workers in general, or students that are trying to pursue the field, if it's beneficial to have services for the workers, have a workplace that serves their workers too, not just their clients. She asked for clarification as to what I meant, and I mentioned to her that previous workplaces that I've had, they had free counseling for their workers because they didn't want to risk burnout or different things like that. And she said yes, that it is beneficial to have those things, but it's also beneficial to have coworkers that you know are going to hold you up on the days that you seem to be down, they will push you to where you need to be, but also help you get to where you need to be too if you need it, if it's one of those harder days. And I thought that was great, and I thought that gave me validation for where I'm currently at. And I have great coworkers that even on the days where I didn't want to be at work, it was difficult, it was a hard day for me, they picked up where I couldn't, and on the days where they were the same way, I did the same thing. And so we still have this pact of I pick you up, you pick me up. And we all work together as a team, which I do agree, it does help reduce the potential burnout that would come up in the field. Now, it's not something that we talked about, but it's something that I noticed, and it made me reflect on myself as to what I need to do if I'm going to be in this field. And that is finding things in ways to connect with both adults and children. It's something that I tend to struggle with. I tend to struggle connecting with adults more so than I do kids, because kids, I can pull out a toy, I can pull out a movie, I can find things that we can both say that we enjoy, and it gets the kids comfortable in talking. Adults, it's a little more difficult to do that. They're able to repress some of that information because they might not trust you right away like a child would. And so it's finding ways to be able to hold that conversation with them and not make it awkward. It's to make them open up to you and build that trust with them. Something else that I will have to remember is to take a break if I need one, because there are points where I will try to work to the point where I'm so stressed out I can't focus, or I lash out at somebody, and that's not something I want to be. I don't want to be in that place. I want to be able to take a step back and rely on other people and not just take everything onto myself, because that can ultimately turn to a burnout or compassion fatigue. And that's the last thing anyone wants or needs within the mental health field. And so I did learn quite a lot from Shannon, and I was very appreciative of everything that she said and what she did and what she does. She loves what she does very much. She wouldn't change it for the world. That's something that she has always enjoyed. And so I thank you, and I hope you have a good night.